Hey guys, hope you all are doing great. Happy to see you in another video. As I had promised in my previous video, I'm going to start posting different types of video from now on. Owing to my experience in business intelligence and then marketing analytics over the past 5 to 7 years, I thought I could share some knowledge about technical tools, right? For example, some videos relating to SQL, Excel, Google Data Studio, basics of Power BI, little bit of Python Pandas. I thought it'd be interesting, great to share knowledge for free through YouTube. I've also been doing courses and helping people learn these tools on the side as well. So it'll be a great way to give back to the community, posting these videos for free. You'll get like a lot of good knowledge in a field which is in demand today and which is going to be the future as well. Stay tuned for these videos. So today I'll start with the basic SQL video. It will cover like, I would say like 20% of your SQL, like when you start your journey, whatever you will use in your first few weeks. I'll try to cover most of those topics, and it's basically based on my own practical experience when I started using SQL 7 years ago. Yes, so continue watching the video.
I'll be teaching about basics of SQL. Okay, so we'll be covering basic topics which can help you get a good head start to SQL. So to start with, I'll explain you what kind of data I have actually. So I believe that some of you might be following this sport called cricket, and a famous league, a franchise league happens in India, which is called as Indian Premier League. Many of you might be aware of this league happening. So what I've done is I've taken some data, I've created my own database based on the IPL 2020, and I have ball by ball data, right? So basically for every ball, I have found who is the bowler, who is the batsman, how many runs were scored, was the ball producing a wicket, stuff like that. Okay. So you have a few columns here as you see. For instance, after over is the ball and the over in which it was delivered. So 0.1 means it's the first ball of the first over, and 0. 0.2 means second ball of the first over, and so on. Then after run data is nothing but the run scored of that ball, right? Was it like two, maybe a four was scored? Dot is nothing but it was a dot ball, no runs were scored. And you might see some W, which means basically a wicket was taken, a batsman got out of that ball. We also have some other data, but essentially other data we need to focus on is the name of the bowler, who was the bowler, and who was the batsman in that particular time. Okay. So basically, to explain to a layman like what we can do with this kind of a database using SQL, we can create queries to filter and slice and dice and get data that we want to see. Okay. So first up, so I have created a database called Cricket. Okay. So this is the bigger picture thing. And under that, as you see, I have a lot of other tables as well. But right now, I'm just considering the table called as combined matches. Okay. Combined matches is a table in the database Cricket. Okay. So the database name is Cricket. Next step, what are the tables under it? We have 3, 4 tables as you see. But most importantly, the table we are going to use is called as combined matches. Okay. The first step, suppose you want to see all the data in the database, right? Like you want to see all the data in that particular table, for example, we can do it using this simple statement in SQL, which is called as select star. So star means select everything from, and then you put the database name, which is cricket dot the table name, which is combined matches. Then you put a semicolon. This is kind of the syntax. Then you can run the query and we get the data, right? So we see that there are 13,550 rows of data, which makes sense because each IPL match around 240 balls, and I think there were around 50 to 60 matches played, right? So that number makes sense. Okay, so this is all the data again. So you see we have a lot of maybe relevant data as well, but in the end this is the full database. Okay, so the first step is, so yeah, select everything. So in English, how will we say it? We'll say select everything from that table. So in SQL, instead of everything, we use a symbol which is the star symbol. So it basically does the same jobs. It selects everything from that particular table in that particular database. Okay. This is step number one. Great. This is general select statement. Everyone should know it. This is like, the print hello world in, in your programming, right? It's very basic. Next step, if I want to only select specific columns, I don't want to see all the columns in the data, right? Like there are so many relevant columns as you see. I only want to see maybe who was the bowler, who was the batsman, and maybe how many runs were scored of it. Okay. So how many runs were scored of it? The name of the column is after run data. So I can add that here. Then I put batter and bowler, right? Those were the other columns which I want to see. And then I can run it. Then you see I can get only those 3 columns. So I see, for example, Padikkal was a batter for that ball, then Bolt was the bowler, and 2 runs were scored off it. Just a simple example. So what happens is, instead of selecting every column, you can also specify the columns you want to select by inputting the name of those columns, right? So this is first step. So not selecting everything, but selecting only certain columns. Okay, so this is super. Like, so far we are able to understand it perfectly. Okay. Now comes the question. Suppose I want to select with a specific filter in mind. I want to filter the data, for example, right? What can a filter be? For example, I want to see only those balls or only those data where the batsman was, for example, Virat Kohli, right? Kohli, right? So how would we do that? So for that, suppose I want to see all the data for that, I'll go back to the select star format. And then in the condition, I will put where batter, right? Batter is the place where, you can find the name Kohli. Batter is equal to, and then you can put Kohli in single quotes. Okay, so it says that find me all all the rows where the name of the batter is Kohli. We run this query and we get 393 rows, which makes sense. Basically means Kohli batted around 393 balls in that IPL. You see, the batter name turns out to be Kohli in all these examples, right? So we could do something similar, like with, maybe we'll try another name. Since it was last season, let me put the name Watson, for example. And you see Watson batted around 254 balls, right? So yeah, you see the batter is Watson. We get only those data points, right? So this is basic where condition. So like putting a filter on the data based on our need, right? Similarly, if you wanted to see only data for the overs, which is more than like 6, right? From starting from 6.1 to 19.6, we could also put a condition here where we say that column after over is greater than 5.6. Okay, let's see. You see, we get from 6.1 all the data. This is of course for all the matches. Okay, so again, I have another column here. Let's just check it. Yeah, I have a column match number, so we can also filter for a specific match you want. That is also possible, but this is just to put a condition on the overs, just to see data for overs which is beyond 5.6, right? Starting from 6.1 to 19.6. This also we can do through SQL. Okay. Suppose now we want to see like two conditions, not one. So basically, we want to see how did Kohli perform in, for example, the power play. Okay. So what is power play in T20 cricket is when the over is between 0.1 and 5.6. Okay. The first 6 overs are called as power play. And we want to see how has Kohli performed, or like how many deliveries has he faced and stuff. Then we could like simply put this condition where we say batter is equal to Kohli, like similar to our last example. That is one condition. Then you put an and, as you see, it's like English, and then you can say after over, right? That is the thing we want to like put a condition on. It should be between 0.1 and 5.6. 0.1 and 5.6. Okay, perfect. Let's try now. You see 69 rows we get. Let's see. So you see it makes sense, right? Essentially, you see Kohli has batted around 69 balls in the power play. So this is just a way to, okay, filter with multiple conditions. Like, okay, batsman is Kohli, then we also want to see, okay, like we want to see his performance in the power play. Okay, this is great. Another thing we can do with these multiple conditions is, suppose we want to see matchups like between a batsman and a bowler. So for example, we want to see how Kohli has performed against Bumrah. I can put where batter equal to Kohli and bowler is equal to Bumrah, right? So to see the deliveries batted by Kohli and the bowler was Bumrah. See, there were 6 balls that Kohli has faced from Bumrah. Yes, it makes sense. Each team plays the other team only twice in the IPL. So that makes sense. And let's see how many runs he got. He got 1 run, then dot balls, then a 2, and then he got a wicket as well. Basically, Bumrah got Kohli out. I remember that game as well. I think ABD did really well in that game. But yeah, essentially this way we can do matchups. Okay, Kohli versus Bumrah, right? Similarly, you could compare another batsman with another bowler. How did they face each other? How many runs the batsman score, or did the bowler get him out? Right. So this is basically multiple conditions inside where this is the next step. So great. So far I've taught you select star, select specific columns, and then where condition with single condition and multiple condition, right? Super. Let's move to the next topic, which is basically trying to group, right? So what I mean by group is, like, for example, we can take a basic example, okay? We want to see how many balls each bowler has bowled in the IPL, right? So for example, Bumrah, how many balls did he bowl in that full 2020 IPL? To do that, we can use a clause called as group by, okay? So how we will do it is, so we'll select the name of the bowler, that is the first column. Then you put a count of star, essentially trying to count, the number of balls that bowler has bowled. And here we can give an alias name. Alias name means instead of outputting it as count of star, we can give it a good name we want, so it looks presentable on the output. So I can do that by typing an as and then giving the name. I want to give it the name, say balls bowled or something like that, okay? And then here we remove the where condition, and we just need to do this function called as group by. Group by, and you can put bowler. And now you see, right? So now you see Bolt has delivered 314 balls, Pattinson has delivered 221 balls, Bumrah has delivered 317 balls, and so on and so forth. You have all the bowlers from all the 8 teams, right? How many balls they bowled in that particular IPL. Same thing we can do with batter. So how many balls each batsman has played. Instead of bowler, you can change it to batter, and here you can group by batter, right? It's the same logic, just the name of the column will change, okay? So group by can be used to aggregate, right? Essentially, that's a great way to do it. Okay. Now, the real power of SQL lies in where, we are able to kind of combine multiple conditions. Okay. What I mean by combine multiple condition is, okay, fine. So we want to get this data, aggregated data, great. But what if we want to do some more operations on this? Say, for example, I want to filter out only those bowler like only those bowlers whose name starts with a B, for example, right? Like Bolt, Bumrah, Bhuvaneshwar, like whose name starts with a B. How can we do it in SQL? So we can add a where condition here, where bowler, and you can put the like operator. So like, okay, and then put, so suppose we want someone whose name starts with B, you can put B percentage, okay? So this essentially tells SQL, find me all the bowlers whose name starts with a B, and the rest can be anything, right? The percentage means it can be anything. And, then, we apply the same group by logic for the aggregation, and let's see what output we get now. Now you see, we only get output of all those bowlers whose names start with B and the balls bowled, right? So this is like after aggregation, like putting an extra filter, right? Similarly, if we want to see all the bowlers whose name, for example, starts with a C, we can just put C percentage here. You see Chahar, Chawal, Chavala, Cottrell and stuff, right? You see different names. Okay, this is super. So this is like for someone's name to start with a particular letter. What if we want to see the for those bowlers whose name does not start with that letter, then we can put where bowler not like, instead of putting like, we can say not like C. So this will show all the bowlers and the balls bowled, but whose name does not start with C. As you see, you get Bolt, Pattinson, get all the names except those names which start with a C, right? So instead of like, we put a not like, right, to exclude those particular rows. Okay. Now, suppose we want to do the same, but we want to see all the bowlers whose name ends with a T. Okay, the last letter of the name is a T. How can we do that? So we put where bowler like, and then you put the percentage in the beginning, and in the end you put the T. So what this means is the initial words letters can be anything. It should end with a T. That is the only condition we are putting. So for example, bold should come in there. Maybe some other bowlers will come. Anyway, let's run this query to see. See Bolt, Rajput, Unadkat, all those whose names ends with T. That's what happens when you put percentage and T. So the last letter has to be T. The previous letters can be anything. Okay. Similarly, we could also do a percentage on either side. So starting and ending can be anything, but in between we want a sequence of letters. Okay. Suppose I want a sequence of letters like HA, in that order, and starting and ending can be anything. Like what I mean is, for example, Chahar, right? Or Yusvendra Chahal. Like I want to basically output these kind of names. So I'm saying starting can be any letter, ending can be any letter, but in between somewhere HA has to come in that order. So let me run that query now. You see Chahar, Chahal, Rashid Khan. Okay, because in Khan HA comes, then Khalil Ahmed HA comes, Shami HA comes, right? HA in that order. So these names you're able to see. Okay, so this is like where condition with the like operator. Instead of saying where batter equal to Kohli, we are saying where bowler like something. Okay, so like is more like a not a specific equal to filter, but it's more like a filter where you can filter for starting names, ending names, all that. Starting letter, ending letter. Okay. Now we want to take it one step further. If we want to arrange it in alphabetical order, for example, right? So we can also add that. So you have a clause called order by. You can order by bowler, and then we get it in alphabetical order. First we get Avesh Khan A, then C, and so on, right? Then we have Thakur, which is a T. So you can order by bowler. Suppose you want to do it, but in descending order. You want the names which come like in alphabetical order which come towards the end, but in the beginning you can also add BSC descending. It's an easy command. So order by bowler, then descending. Okay. So this way Thakur will come in the beginning. If you see now, Thakur will come in the beginning and Avesh Khan will go to the end because we are ordering the name of the bowlers in descending order, right? So this is another operation we can do. Okay. Then to top it all up, let us see if you want to see the same list, but with one more condition that they should have bowled at least 100 balls in the IPL, right? To put an extra condition on the number of balls bowled. For example, in that case, Shankar, Shabas Ahmed, and all will go out because they have bowled like less than 100 balls. So we want to filter for only those bowlers who have bowled more than 100 balls. How can we do it? So some of you might think, we can add, for example, in the where condition only, we can add, for example, that, the balls bowled and put it greater than like say 100. So this might be your natural thought, right? Let's run and see what works. So you see it shows unknown column. Okay. I'll explain you why this is happening. Let me try count of thought again. As you see, it says invalid use of group function. Okay. So the logic here is basically when we want to, let me rerun the old output again. Okay, great. So now when we want to put a condition on a column which has been aggregated, right? What I mean by aggregated is balls bowled as a column has been aggregated. We are counting it, right? Or, for example, this could also be a sum of something, right? So whenever we are aggregating a particular column, for that, we should use another clause, which is called as having. Okay, instead of putting it in the where clause, we should put it in the having clause, and there we can insert our condition. Okay, so having balls bowled greater than 100, right? I put it there, it will work. So you see, Shankar 84, Shabas Ahmed 37, and all will go away now. Anyway, let's run the output and check. You see, only we get numbers who have bowled more than 100 balls, right? Minimum 100. If we flip it to like less than 100, just to see the other way, then we see Shankar, Shabas Ahmed, and all, like all those bowlers who bowl less than 100 balls. So important thing to keep in mind, we can use a having to apply a condition on a aggregate function. In this case, balls bowled is an aggregate, like it's counting the balls bowled by bowler, right? That is how we did the group by. Group by is to do the aggregation. Okay. So essentially, if you see now, this is one proper SQL query, like where you have the select statement, then the from, then the where condition, then you group by, like you aggregate it, then you have a having to put a condition on aggregate function, and finally you do a order, right? Remember this order, SFWGHO, right? Select from where, group, having, order. This is a great way to get started with SQL. It's a great bare bones basic kind of SQL. So yeah, I think this will be a good start practicing. There are a lot of open databases available online as well. So it'll be a good way to start. So before I conclude this session, I just want to finish with one more topic, which is little bit advanced, not too advanced or anything, but I think it will be useful for you guys. Okay, let me open a new tab. Just copy the same query again. Okay, so I'll remove all these conditions now because we are going to do something else. Okay, we'll select a star and I'll quickly explain you what I'm going to do. Okay, great. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, suppose we want to now define or add a new column which defines something, right? For example, if you follow cricket in detail, you will know usually in a T20 game, the overs between 0.1 and 5.6, it is called as power play. Okay, then the overs from 6.1 to 14.6, it's usually the middle overs, and the overs from 15.1 to 19.6 is called as death overs, right? This column is not there, right? Like it's not there in the data set. Suppose we want to define this as a new column in the data set, right? Or at least define it in our query. How can we do it is we can use something called as the case statement. We can leverage the case statement and do this. Okay, I'll show you how. So say we want to show this in case. So we'll say case when it's pretty much like English. After over between 0.1 and 5.6, right? Then we call it power play. Okay. Then when after over between 6.1 and 14.6, then what was that? Middle overs. Yeah, cool. Then if not, right? So basically else, we'll give it a name, dead overs. Okay. And then to finish the syntax, you put end as. So end as, remember that, and give it a name. So we can say this is power play definition. We can give our own name. Okay. And then comma. So this is going to be one column. We'll select another column, which is after over, to say, to check if, you know, our query is actually working. Simply select batter as well. Now let's try to run this query. Now you see 0.1, the power play definition column shows power play. 0.5, it shows power play. Let's check a number between 6.1 and 14.6. Okay, so 16.2, it's even beyond 14.6. So we see death overs. Yeah, for example, 14.1, it shows as middle over. Great. Then a random number like 10.3, yes, it's middle overs. Why? Because it's between 6.1 and 14.6, right? So this is essentially a way to define your own column in the query by using the case statement, right? This is powerful, like in what type of analysis? For example, I want to compare Kohli versus Rohit Sharma, how they have batted in the death overs. We could do this. We could define the case statement. We have the batter as well. Then if you want, we can add the, the column of the runs. Okay. And then I can add a condition where batter is equal to Kohli, right? See. Now you see all the balls faced by Kohli split by, the phase of the game, whether it was middle over, death over, power play. And what did he do? Did he score a run? Did he get out and all that? You could also add Rohit Sharma here and compare the two. Great way to do comparison analysis as well. And it's like little bit intermediate concept, but great to know case. So essentially syntax is case when the column, like you put the condition, then you give it a name. If there is another condition, when, so basically when condition, then your name, and then if the last condition is the one for the remaining, then you put an else and then you give it your own name, that was, and then you finish it with a end as. Remember this, it's important as syntax, and give the column your own name, and then put a comma, select whatever other columns you want to see. And as you see, after the from, you can put where again. For example, you could also add order by and all that, right? So that is definitely possible. So I hope it was interesting, this session. So I covered select, where with certain filters, group by, then I covered between and like operators. Then I taught you case statement. I taught you having an order by. It's a great way to start like base SQL. Hope that you can see this practice on online databases. Stay tuned for more topics related videos, specifically focused on SQL, then Excel, Data Studio and stuff. I'll see you soon. Thank you, and do subscribe to the video. Share it with your friends for further